Hey, my name is Ali.
Bunny Hopper.
Hello, my name is RDU.
Fino here.
Thais.
Lambi series here.
Even though most people know me as a streamer, I used to be a high-level competitor in Hearthstone.
Two-time Yu-Gi-Oh! Nationals finalist, one-time champion, Yu-Gi-Oh! World semi-finalist, former Hearthstone Grandmaster.
Became world champion in 2022 and also won the global team championship.
2 times the European Championship.
When I found Parallel,
Parallel.
I immediately fell in love with the science fiction world that they created.
The depth and the details in it really stand out to me.
It's space art, it's gorgeous. The lore, Space Wars, super interesting.
I think overall the game of Parallel is what is the strong part.
The mana system, the cards.
Deck building around the Paragon's strengths.
Some things are a little bit stronger, but the strongest decks are also like very skillful.
The deck allows us to trade the assets. I can send my friends decks and cards or my viewers cosmetics.
The banking system especially as a new mechanic.
The banking system.
One of the best decks we've seen in the mana system in any card game.
It's already adapting into tournament modes.
The community is pretty awesome.
The Parallel community and team has always been so wonderful to me.
I've been a lot of fun playing Parallel. I think you can also have a lot of fun playing Parallel.
Try Parallel, guys.
I love this game.
Alex's Lemonade Stand was founded by my daughter Alex in our front yard when she was 4 years old. She decided she would have a lemonade stand, but instead of keeping the money, she would give it to her doctors so they could help kids like her. And she was able to reach her $1 million goal. She passed away 2 weeks later. She was 8.5.
Few seconds as this game, set, match, the shot, the denial, it goes all the way again overtime!
Yeah, you played Balsamar, so his honor went out.
Oh, well, yeah, I had to.
Look at Socket, laying in the middle,
Socket?
laying in the damage, going in revenge for their honey.
No way!
They call him Socket Wabe!
We do love all the players, even the ones we shit talk. We love you all. We love you all.
In fact, he was on the fight right in there, in deep. Rain Boss has arrived. They're taking up all the damage. You can flew your...
We're winning the whole thing this year. Mark my words. EVU, Ohio, Northern Northwest, hey, every single one of you, get ready. Be locked in.
Why? Those don't go in. It goes off the sidebar.
So tiring and stressful, but no, I had so much fun. We met a lot of really great teams. And then also bond as a team together.
Unified welcomes you to the following presentation of the Midwest Esports Conference. Here at the MEC, we partner with schools all over the Midwest to create premier gaming experiences. Welcome to the MEC. Enjoy the show.
Hello everybody, it is time for some Wednesday night College League of Legends over in the Midwest Esports Conference. We are getting ready to go for our winners semifinals here in the regional playoffs of the MEC. I'm super excited for tonight's game. It's two top teams in all of College League of Legends, both squads trying to fight for that top 32 spot. My name is Mac Dewey. Joining me in the casting booth is my main man, Zap. How are you feeling on this lovely Wednesday night?
Feeling pretty good, Mac. Thank you for having me. And
Super excited to get into some more League of Legends here at the Midwest Esports Conference. We got a pretty hot match coming up for you guys. Purdue versus Ottawa in a winner's semis bout. So definitely want to be getting a W here.
Spicy.
Yeah, whoever gets the dub here is looking pretty nice here in the league. We got the Ottawa Braves and of course joined by Purdue there. How do you feel about this matchup here coming up, Mac? I know you know a little bit more about these two teams than I do.
Man, Zap, I am elated to be covering this match. These squads have been, I think, pretty comfortable through the regular season. Purdue Northwest, everything has gone pretty much according to plan. They only dropped... Yeah, right. During the regular season, they only drop one series to the number 2 seed, Grandview. The rest of that, it was, I don't think any game drops except one series against Columbia College. I think we're playing with some subs and may have dropped a game kind of messing around in the regular season. But when it comes down to it, Purdue Northwest is a top CLOL contender. And Zap, they're trying to take that next step in College League of Legends. Their sights are set beyond just a repeat championship here in the MEC. Their sights are set on a top 8 run in College League of Legends, trying to compete with the best schools in North America. And with the squad that they've put together, frankly, they do stand a chance, and I'm excited to see how Coach Rend and Marquez have gotten the squad ready to go for playoffs. I know finals are coming up for a lot of the students, so it makes it a little challenging. We were talking with Ohio State on Monday, and the exam schedule, like finals, are really starting to come up, so it makes things a little bit challenging for the players. But with a lot of other competitions, except Ao June competing in NACL, shout out the GOAT. For a lot of the other players, OQs are done, so this is kind of the time where if you're not competing in the top North America Challenger League, for Purdue Northwest, a lot of the other players are starting to lock in and get going. They're focusing on CLOL, and it's really exciting to see.
Yeah, talking a little bit about how finals was coming up. If they win this, they will be in the finals here at the Midwest Esports Conference.
Yeah.
And we are into pick and ban here. So far, we've seen Callista and Mbessa go to the wayside. Pantheon ban coming out for Purdue as well. And Gwen, an actual insane pick recently. I believe it's a more popular pick nowadays because of the buffs that actually came through. I'm not sure which patch we're playing on. I'm assuming it's live patch. But the current patch that Gwen is on is absolutely a powerhouse, a force to be reckoned with. And I like to see that they're respecting that pick here. Zinzao coming through for Ottawa here. I like that. It's a good blind, a strong jungler. Karma as well, also a solid blind.
Yeah, so Zap, I'm trying to get the tweet out. I'm trying to get the people to come through.
Yeah, I guess.
This is such an exciting matchup.
It really is. It really is.
Ottawa, on the other hand, I know I went on a Purdue Northwest quite extended intro. For the Braves, they've got some big shoes to fill in the bot lane specifically. Their longtime ADC star, Levi, unfortunately, was sent to the hills to retire. To fill his shoes is quite the mechanical ADC, June, who's come in. He's going to be locking in the Jhin, and it'll be really interesting to see if he gets the same playoff buff that Levi was known to have. Between these two teams, I think June can really be a potential difference maker if the bot lane's able to get going. Purdue Northwest during the regular season, Zap, Alchemist in the jungle has been setting up level 2, level 3 tower dives like it is a freaking cake recipe, and have just got it dialed in. And so I'm curious if the Braves can survive potentially the early onslaught and get June going in a carry position to maybe come through with an upset here on Wednesday night.
Well, I'm excited to see it, Mac. We've talked a lot about Ottawa here and Purdue as well, but we're seeing the Nico ban come through, I believe, here for Ottawa, and that is a support ban because we have the Neferi, the Rumble, The Corki is a flex. You know, we could see Corki bot lane, we could see Corki mid lane. Nefiri also a flex as well. Could be jungle, could be mid. So Purdue is really being ambiguous with their picks here. Kind of hard to lock it in. If I'm Ottawa, though, I'm definitely banning out supports because I don't think any of these characters can flex to support. So I would definitely take out some of those support characters. I believe that's why they went for the Nico. I'm surprised to see the Leona ban. Do you think they could flex the Karma? Is that what's going on here from Purdue?
I could see it, honestly, Zap. What is most interesting to me, and I know I talked about June being a potential player to watch on Ottawa. If I were to have a kind of second player that I think really needs to step up tonight, it's Riversided up in the top lane. Ottawa in years past have actually had sort of two mid laners. I'm kind of, I don't know if it's old head at this point, but I always think back to Easy Hoon and Faker and their iconic run where they would swap back and forth, you know?
Yeah.
Ottawa kind of had a similar thing going, especially last year between their current mid laner Blonde and their current top laner now Riversided. They would go kind of back and forth in the mid lane. The top lane is a potential problem matchup for Ottawa. Purdue Northwest has arguably the MEC GOAT in the top lane. Prank has been an absolute staple here in the MEC. He was previously on Grandview, another MEC team, and then I'll say, quote unquote, he transfer portaled over to PNW. He really just ended up going to Purdue Northwest for grad school. So he kind of transfer portaled over to Purdue Northwest, and funny enough, Zap, his first year when he joined last year, guess who wins the MEC? Purdue Northwest. So for Riversided, potentially going a safe pick like the Karma in the top lane, I could maybe see it. But with Red 5 coming up, there's some flexibility for the Braves here. What are they going to cook up?
Yeah, it's the last choice. We'll see. I believe the Aurelion Soul is going to be going mid, so the Corki was a flex. I was correct in that as well. But Alistar should be the last pickup here. It looks like the Karma was a flex after all. We see that pick come to fruition as they are going to lock in their support. Or the Galio. Okay, that's a surprising pick to be seeing here in the last pick. But, you know, against Rumble Aurelion, hey, Galio, solid choice. Not gonna lie.
Not too shabby. I wonder... Oh gosh, I know... Like way back in the day, again, I'm just getting nostalgic watching this draft, Zap. I'm thinking of the old top lane Rise days. Between Blonde and Riversided, I am not sure, but like you were kind of thinking into the Rumble, I could maybe see Galio going top to try and play a little safe, not entirely get bullied out, and maybe have a chance to kind of withstand the heat. Really interesting draft here. Looking at Alchemist on Nefiri, though, I don't think has the Nefiri nerfs come through yet on the live patch.
There has been a hot fix for Nefiri, but I don't think it's nearly enough to spell curtains for the character. A new patch did just come out today. Are we playing on 20? Are we playing on 0.7 or are we on 0.6 still?
I'll ask our producer if he knows what patch is.
Do we know production?
Is kind of live. I'll see if.
Okay, so we are live with the Nefiri nerfs then, because the patch came out today.
If chat can help us as well.
the patch did come out today. It is live, so the Nefiri nerfs should be in play as of right now. So they did elect to go for the Nefiri despite that fact, but honestly, I don't think the nerfs are enough to really gut the champion. I think it's still terribly, terribly strong. So I don't think it's a bad pick for Purdue here to go for the Nefiri jungle.
And for Purdue Northwest, their mid-jungle duo is absolutely just top-tier killers. Alchemist on the Nefiri is going to be terrifying. I think I saw that Nefiri's mostly been banned, so honestly, Zap, we haven't seen it a whole lot.
I'm thinking, Mac, because the nerfs came through, they're like, they're not going to pick that, right?
Yeah.
But they did anyways, and I think that just shows the comfortability that Alchemist has on the champion, right? Probably has been practicing it in solo queue, probably has it ready for these college-level games here, so I'm excited to see what they can do on the champion.
And looking at the rest of the Purdue Northwest composition here that they locked in, their bot lane Udon beat on. We'll see the fans will pour in with the copy pastas. I see Poners in chat, my goat. But Udon ADC has been solid, and Nukes has just been hilarious to watch. He's been playing this electrocute Nautilus and going like AP damage with Zonius
On
and
support?
Protobelt. I know. It's so
Okay.
funny, but it does so much damage,
Mhm.
and we'll see how serious he's feeling against the Braves, how confident Purdue Northwest are feeling in this winter semifinals matchup. But all that to say is that this Nautilus pick is extremely aggressive in Ottawa with the long-ranged Karma Jin. Again, I'm putting a lot of expectations on June, the ADC for Ottawa, to see, can he step up? Can they survive this kind of aggressive early lane? Because this is peak Purdue Northwest comfort, and Ottawa's got an interesting draft. I'll be curious to see if they can get the Galio Xinzhao going. It's a solid engage that can kind of disrupt team fights.
I mean, if I'm just looking at the team comps here, Mac, I think I'm favoring Purdue a little bit just because you talked about that aggression, right? The Nautilus, the Corki. That early game is so deadly in the top lane. I mean, Jin Karma, strong lane, right? But the all-in potential of Corki Nautilus it can't be understated. They could easily run away with that bot lane if they find a good engage. But, on the flip side, Ottawa still does have some tools to make it to late game. They have a lot of stall potential here, especially with the Galio. That late game shield is going to come in really, really clutch, I think, versus the magic damage that Purdue possesses. And the scaling with Rise as well is also there. So I'm kind of favoring Purdue a little bit in the early game especially, but I think Ottawa's comp isn't bad. That's my main point here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Ottawa, for them, this Xin Zhao has got to do some work as well. Prod, shout out the Braves' jungler. He's been on his grind. I always compliment his work ethic. I feel like he's either always in solo queue or always just trying to get better at the game. And this is going to be a big test for him and the team here. Last series, so I believe during the regular season, unfortunately for Ottawa, I don't think they picked up a single game over Purdue Northwest. So PNW definitely coming into tonight as the favorites. I thought some of the drafts were a little interesting. Prod on the Xin Zhao is something that actually gives me a lot of hope for this game. If Plux could maybe roam around with the Karma Xin Zhao feels like it could maybe do some work together. I'll be keeping my eyes peeled for that. But yeah, really exciting match. PNW's team fight is something that I'm a little concerned about if I'm an Ottawa fan. Ao June on the Aurelion Soul, I feel like is not something we've talked about too much, but looking at the matchup between him and Blonde on Rise, Blonde's it's kind of a David versus Goliath, but it's two, I feel like, classic mid lane mage players who are going toe to toe against each other. I think that will be kind of boring in the early game. Naturally, I feel like that's kind of how mid lane goes.
It's standard mage gameplay, We're both scaling, we're both getting our CS. Like, these two, like, man, I don't want to move from my lane, right? But the thing is, Rise, Aurelion, and Soul both actually have very strong roaming tools. So, like, we might see, like, the mid lane, like, let's just farm and, gentlemen's farming only, scale up, get our Rod of Ages, get our Seraphs going, things of that nature. But the dragon can roam with that W, the Rise can press that teleport and instantly be in your lane. So I think we could see a lot of skirmishes in the mid game if both of them are feeling up to it. So
yeah, and that's where I'll be watching. It's kind of funny, like the technicality of mid lane mechanics. Your wave management has to be on point, especially when both mid laners are able to roam on a dime, right? We've got two aggressive junglers and two mid jungle duos that have been exciting to watch all season long. The mid laners have got to be careful because the junglers might just go in and start fighting and start skirmishing, right? So who's going to be in the better position there? It may be a minion battle, but that's where I feel like the war might be won.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're exactly right. Talking about the junglers a little bit, like both of these characters fairly strong in the early game. I think I've got to give the edge to Xin Zhao in the earliest of the game, because Nefiri does kind of want to scale up a little bit with their hounds. That passive really starts doing more and more damage as items come in as the game progresses. So I'm looking at Xin Zhao to really start off the early skirmishes and really find some of that. But it looks like, are we finally getting into game Mac? Yes, we are. Here we go.
Woo! Let's do it, man. Semi-finals. Winner's side of the MEC regional playoffs. The #1 seed, Purdue Northwest, taking on, surprisingly, the 4 seed, Ottawa Braves, dropping some games in the regular season, but they've been known for their playoff magic, Zap. Let's see if they can kind of rekindle that.
I got a question for you, Mac.
Hit me.
Seeing as Ottawa University is the 4th seed, did you expect them to make it here against Purdue Northwest in the semifinals? Did you predict this? Like, was this something that was supposed to happen?
Yeah, absolutely. This is last year a top 16 team, I believe.
Okay.
The MEC did pretty well in the first round of 32 in CLOL. So this is a talented Ottawa Braves team here. They were kind of Purdue Northwest in Grandview last season. Zap was kind of our big 3 teams, and they put on a show on the nationwide stage in the top 32 tournament. Over the offseason, we actually end up adding Ohio State to the MEC, so they kind of shake things up a little bit in an interesting way, putting themselves in conversation of, does the MEC have a top 4? How will these teams kind of face off against each other? So did I expect Ottawa to make it here? Absolutely. But their chances of getting a top 32 seed, I certainly hope the committee goes that way, because I love watching this team. But every win matters here, and the regional playoffs especially. If you want that guaranteed shot in the big tournament, you got to be able to punch your ticket through.
Yeah, Ottawa University looking like the underdogs in this situation.
Yeah, for sure.
So we're trying to figure out what we can get here. It looks like the pause came through. Must have been some technical difficulties happening on the back end. I'm sure we'll get that sorted momentarily. But looking forward to this match here, Mac. Ottawa versus Purdue Northwest. And we've talked about the comps more than enough. I'm just excited to see the gameplay. I hope this error can be fixed shortly here.
Yeah, classic pause issue. There we go. Load it back in. June actually didn't move at all. He's just chilling.
No,
Don't let your screen fool you.
Up, nothing changed. We're still paused. Hey, guys, you can move.
Crazy though, Zap. If we look at the Ottawa composition, my theory was a little bit off. I was going back and forth, but Riversided ends up going the Grasp of the Undying, Karma top lane, and Plux is rocking Galio support. Super interesting here as well. Nukes not going Electrocute Nautilus, but they're looking for the early fight.
Yeah, a bit of a hook connection there for Nukes. Just a quick little trade, you know, nothing too crazy. But they did get some good chip damage onto Udon there. And you see Jin actually walking up and pressuring with that Q. Otto has the force shot as well, recognizing he has some presence in this lane here. So a good start already for the Ottawa bot lane.
Huge for them to get level 2 first. I think that's part of why they wanted to go the Galio with the Jhin. Certainly helps them out there. And Alchemist, he's on the top side of the map. Looks like both junglers looking to do just kind of a full clear. And this is going to be a really close game here. I'm hoping for it, keeping my fingers crossed, but and a pretty ideal start here for June in Plux. Hoping to not get caught out. As you mentioned, the quirky Nautilus early game was pretty tough to deal with.
Definitely. You see some poke coming here. Frank versus Riverside in the top lane. You see the pressure of Karma in the early game with that grasp as well. It really poses a problem here for the lack of range that Rumble possesses. So I think it should be a guaranteed win, but we see a little skirmish here. Okay, a bit of a trade. You know, the root comes through. But June with a small CS lead in the mid lane.
And both junglers on the bottom side of the map here, Zap. Things could get spicy as a hook connects, but a good interrupt. Ignite down, Plux is getting low. Flash from Udon, the phosphorus bomb. Can't quite finish off Plux, but man, I think we just saw some of that bot lane magic from Nukes and Udon, and the junglers might be going toe-to-toe.
Yeah, we see the fight over the Scuttle Crab. Looks like Alchemist is going to be able to secure the Q, almost actually stealing that one away. Luckily, Prod was able to secure the Crab for themselves and secure a little bit of more XP. Here's the trade once again. Blonde out of mana, actually. Can't really trade back. Just the Dragon's Breath absolutely annihilating that health bar. Prod's going to have to take it back after that one. Oh, the hook connection, the root. Big damage here.
It's just absurd.
Yeah, no trade back though. The W, Deadly Flourish, not going to connect there for the Jhin, but Nukes is holding this bush pressure, and Alchemist actually looking for a gank. The root connection, the taunt comes through, and oh, the re-engage onto Udon. It's not enough though, but Alchemist is here. First blood going to the way of Udon onto their support. The hook connection, surely Jhin will fall here. Flash forward, trying to get the kill, but it's not enough. The double kill for Udon, it's looking great for Purdue in the early game.
Brutal for the Braves bot lane. Alchemist really wasn't even needed there. It was the 2v2 win. Udon and Nukes showing us why they are a top tier bot lane here in the MEC, putting in the work. And look at the recall difference that comes through with those 2 kills. It's a BF sword coming out for Udon.
Udon has the Jeff Bezos back, my man. He is wealthy. Trades coming through for Frank though, utilizing that Flame Spitter to get some damage onto Riverside, and actually recognizes that they're out of mana. Gonna go for the all-in, misses the E, unfortunately. That'll be a lot of damage, but surely there's no kill here, right? No, definitely not. We're gonna be able to walk that one out. Here's the re-engage. Nukes looking for the hook, and no connection that time around. And it looks like Ottawa's gonna be taking advantage of this tempo and getting the dragon here, man.
Let's see if they can make it happen. Void Grubs have not been picked up here, and with the early dragon, they might be able to fight over the top side neutral objective as well. There's Prod Xin Zhao trying to lead the charge to keep Ottawa in this game. But again, looking at the bot lane, this is a rough position to be in. The wave's not going to be able to get frozen, but there's the flash.
Flash forward into the root. The taunt's going to come through, but already Jhin is going to go down, and then surely Plux is to follow. The Ignite is ticking down. One more auto, but the Ignite plus the E is going to be enough that time around. And once again, that bot lane looking so deadly in the early game here, Mac. Absolutely ridiculous.
Brutal, man. Zap, I was telling you during the draft, June needs to try and step up and recreate some of that playoff ADC magic, but the bottom side of Ottawa is struggling.
Bit of a skirmish here. Alchemist looking to invade, and Nukes is here as well. The hook is not going to connect. Prod able to walk this one out, but Plux is here. Flash in. The ultimate from Al June is there, and it's a big skirmish right here. Deadly Flourish connects onto Nukes. He's still alive for the moment. Prod trying to get back in there, trying to go in, but it's not enough. Does fall to the wave side. Udon able to double out of there, but
health
the damage is coming through, and now the re-engage from Ottawa is enough. The 4th shot connection, but Blonde is able to teleport through. There's a skirmish in the top lane happening as well, but I want to see what's happening down bot lane. Ao June is in danger. Blonde with enough damage, but the Q doesn't connect. The flash is there, and what an absolute bloodbath in the bot lane jungle, Mac. My goodness.
Welcome to the MEC, Zap. It's playoffs, man, and boy, oh boy, are these players giving it their absolute all. Blonde with a massive triple kill to revive the Ottawa Braves here. Must-see gameplay here on the Rift, and that was absolutely massive, not only for the Rise's chances of potentially being a hyper carry, but just keeping the Braves in this game. We'll see, though. Udon 4-1-2 on the Corki is... we'll be honest here, Zap, less than ideal for the Braves, but shout out Udon and Nukes. This bot lane is on fire. 100% kill participation so far, and they are ready to go in playoff mode.
Yeah, I think we recognize the win condition here for Purdue at the moment. It is certainly the bot lane in Udon and Nukes. They've been playing phenomenally thus far, Mac, like you said. But the shutdown going to Blonde here on that rise, like you talked about, that could really accelerate the scaling here on the champion. And they do have a small CS deficit for the moment from Aojun, but is that really going to matter when you have 3 kills in your pocket? Like, does that matter that much? Probably not.
Nah, he'll make it work. He'll try his best. As we kind of get out of the early game, a lot of champs getting their ultimates online. Specifically, June and Plex still level 5, as well as Nukes. This Ottawa bot lane has got to be careful. They do got the wave in a pretty good position here to maybe freeze it, but I mean, look at the quirky wave clear. Oh, come on, he's trying to. You got to worry about
this
the
wave
poke,
in. Okay. June was trying to juke him out a little bit there, trying to make sure that wave doesn't crash into the tower. Maybe try to set up a freeze or something. Make it easier to CS versus this Nautilus quirky,
yeah.
But you know. How long can you step up to Udon? That's the question. He's just going to be pressing that E. That Gatling gun's going to be annihilating your HP bar. So difficult to CS here, but still, despite that, though, June and Plux, you know, they're still alive in the bot lane. It's not over yet.
Prod's going to try to come through here. There's the level 6 for Nukes. That's absolutely massive.
Oh my goodness. Prod is just there at the right timing. The Deadly Flourish connecting, and they're able to secure that kill onto Udon, and once again reviving the bot lane like you talked about, Mac. We're getting some extra gold, we're getting some assists. No kills for June yet, unfortunately, on the Jhin, but that's all right. A little skirmish in the top lane here, trades back and forth. The root is going to connect, more grass blocks. Running out of mana, though, and unfortunately the Mantra ult isn't going to connect. So lots of tradings happening in the top lane, and actually you see Prank has accumulated a solid CS lead here versus Riverside.
Yeah, I think Ottawa hoping to just kind of do some damage control up in the top lane. Prank, at the end of the day, probably gonna get ahead no matter what, but if you can kind of limit that snowball effect, I think the Braves will consider that a win, especially with Blonde getting the Rod of Ages online this early. They're gonna look mid lane.
Uh-oh, okay, Plux is here, but we're able to, you know, just fly right out of there.
See ya!
He is a dragon, he can fly, you know, you can't always make that connection. Good stuff there from Aojun to avoid that gank. But now Dragon should be the target here as Ottawa has obtained all the control, and I believe both teleports are up in the top lane. Riverside is making it difficult for Prank to move here. Prank got the wave in, so they will have teleport prio if they do want to come down for this Dragon, but it seems like it's certainly Ottawa's Dragon. They're just going to let that fall away. Looking for some plates on the top side here is Prank. You see the Dragon go the way of Ottawa here. Good control, good spacing here with the teleport in. Big engage, the ultimate comes through. Now Pluck looking to connect, but there it is. Zinzao able to connect, the wind becomes lightning, and find that kill onto Nukes once again. And they keep picking up this bot lane. Alchemist in the top lane though, looking for something, but you know, that root's gonna come through and actually stop the back of Blonde. That's unfortunate there for the rise tempo.
I like Alchemist trying to get up in the top lane. I feel like Riverside has been able to get away with quite a bit, but it is a Hextech Rift. The mobility is here, and Ottawa continue to pounce. Opportunity after, after opportunity. Plux getting a little frisky here. He's got to be careful, but Alchemist...
Big engage here. Equalizer comes down. That's going to be some good damage. Prod looking to run away. Ottawa on the run. Plux taking some damage. Nuke's in trouble now. The root is about to connect.
Udon's here.
There we go. Okay. The fight has been joined, and the dragon comes down from the skies with a massive nuke. Blonde is going to be evaporated by that dragon breath, and now it's Riverside running for the hills. The dragon is looking to find another kill, to claim another treasure for their trove, and a double kill for Aojun. And that dragon is looking real dangerous. And you see Jhin, you know, doing ADC things, farming in the bot lane, but another fantastic fight for Purdue.
Purdue Northwest was ready for that play, Zap. They're going to be able to cash in on the Void Grubs, and I was behind in the casting booth, man. I was getting hyped for the Braves. I was ready to roll the dice on them. I think the players were feeling a little bit of that too, but 4 huge kills and a massive swing of 3,000 gold. Purdue Northwest has got the lead here at the 13-minute mark. Ottawa, They were just too aggressive there. I think in that moment, unfortunately, comes back to bite them as the Purdue squad was ready to go. Ao Jun with the Rylai's completed, man, that's just absolutely brutal for him.
Yeah.
We'll see if Ottawa can continue to make the quality picks happen. They've been awesome at catching out Purdue Northwest, but now they find themselves a good bit behind here as we enter the mid-game.
I mean, taking a look at the items here, it doesn't look too bad on paper. 3K gold lead, you know, nothing to be too worried about just yet. But you see a full item completion coming in for the Corky, for the Fury, for the Rumble as well. But most of the other Ottawa members as well have completed their first item besides Nukes. Well, both supports actually not on their first items just yet. But it is a redemption in the top side for Riverside, so I think that advantage is certainly swinging. Okay, we're gonna be able to teleport out with that root. I like that from Blonde, just getting out of dodge real quick. Looks like the wind comes finally is gonna connect. Looking to force this one is Ottawa, chasing Alchemist down. The audacious charge in the mid side. A dragon is burning somebody down. Wind becomes lightning, not gonna connect. Nuke's running for his life. It looks like Ao Jun is going to take down June. Now Crank and Riverside in the top lane having a bout. That Flame Spitter is doing so much damage, but you know, trades back and forth, and once again, Purdue coming out on top with that pick.
I think there may be a winning side between the one using the flamethrower and the one getting, it looks like, cooked in the microwave. Riverside's got to be careful about taking those trades. As you pointed out, he went the redemption. This is a Riverside build who's maybe looking to try to help the team survive team fights, but boy, oh boy, is he gonna struggle in the side lane, as I know we talked about him trying to do damage control against Frank, but here we see the PNW top laner building up a pretty significant lead. He's almost got the tower taken down. He's got 30 CS in the lead. I mean, this is exactly where PNW would hope the Rumble ends up, and I think we just know, Zap, in those team fights later on, he is going to be a big factor.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right there, Mac. I was talking a little bit about the item differential there in the top lane just before the skirmish broke through. The redemption is kind of making Karma a secondary support in this current moment, but the problem is, Mac, is who's the carry for this Ottawa squad? Like, we have a Jhin, but Jhin with an Enchanter isn't that strong, but here we go, Hero's Entrance able to get June out of dodge, and just a bit of a commitment there for PNW trying to find a pick before the dragon, but it looks like they're the ones in control. Singularity connection, the dragon breath, just a bit of chit damage, flash through into the hook onto Blonde. Certainly that will spell death. Are they out? The bleed is enough. The dogs are going to be able to connect onto that one. They do find the pick before the dragon, and it looks like Purdue has gotten all that they wanted here before the dragon has spawned.
PNW sinks their fangs into the Braves, and now with no summoner spells, Flux and June are in a tough spot.
Yeah, dangerous situation. The skies descend. Massive ultimate there for Ao Jun. It looks like Flux is going to fall first. Udon in a dangerous position, able to flash out. Nukes connected with the wind becomes lightning. Riverside has arrived, and Nukes is doing all he can to get these enemies away from his teammates. The curtains have been called, but to no avail here for June, rather. But we are fighting the dragon, actually. It has gained them a little bit of space here. Ottawa, Alchemist in a dangerous position
coming
now.
Back.
Okay,
TP from Ao Jun.
Yeah.
Are we gonna get another fight here, Zap?
We might. The dragon is getting ticked pretty low. 3K health. Alchemist is there. The smite fight is there. But Riverside is going to fall to the wayside. Alchemist looking for the fight instead of the dragon. And then many members are falling here. Big taunt coming out from Flux.
Ottawa?
The re-engage onto Alchemist. They are still alive. The dragon's ticking very, very low. Who's going to get it? It's going to be Alchemist. And he's going to fall. Certainly. Never mind. The Nefiri reverses the situation. And Prank is burning Flux down. And June is running for the hills with no HP. Huge fight for PNW, and a dragon secured as well.
Unbelievable. June's got to be a little careful here. He's got the range advantage against Nukes, but he's not going to let him recall, dude. Oh gosh, got to be careful with that. I wonder, at the end of the day, my head scratching at the curtain call ultimate. I think that could have been a difference maker as Purdue Northwest was at Dragon. June was looking for the solo kill onto Aojune's Aurelian Soul, but as we saw, the Dragon's able to fly out of dodge and avoid the performance, and I just think it could have been a big difference maker if he had aimed that in the river. Nonetheless, Ottawa putting up a great fight, but Riverside is getting picked.
Call the pack might connect here. The skies descend right onto Karma's head, and certainly you will be gone with that dog and dragon absolutely annihilating your health bar. Nukes and Plucks looking for a bit of a ward battle here. June is there to help out his support, getting that red buff secured, but man, that top lane duo really just took it to Riverside, and there's no tankiness there. All we have is a Fiendish Codex and a Redemption to our names, so how are we going to survive all that damage from the dragon and the dog? I don't think there is a way.
PNW, I think they're starting to feel a little comfortable here in this game. It was a really close fight around that previous dragon, but Alchemist secures the objective. He wins the 1v1 against Prod, and now Purdue going to be able to pick up Rift Herald. Another objective going their way. Ottawa going to look for a pick onto Prank. Here comes Plux and Prod.
Yeah, Valley ult is there. I think Prank should fall here. Oh no, the equalizer slowing Prod just enough. Wind becomes lightning, not gonna connect. We have an audacious charge in our future. The healing is there, but it's not enough. Is he alive? He is. He just barely survives. That is not what you want to see if you're Ottawa. Wow. That is so unfortunate.
That is brutal. Unbelievable.
He missed the
Prod, or excuse me, Blonde, can he get out?
I don't think so. The connection is there. Just kidding. The dragon is just absolutely annihilating, but Plux and Blonde are able to secure nukes before then. Astral Flight in, but the re-engage here from Plux. We see Alchemist on the backside. The call of the pack connects onto Blonde. They're gonna fall. The reset here for Alchemist, but we're not gonna be able to dive the Karma, rather. Prank looking for a kill onto June here. Can we get away? No. Electric Harpoon that time around. The second one does connect. We're gonna just auto him down. The barrier comes out. Deadly Flourish, the trap. It's not enough. You're gone. And now Udon, Alchemist, they are setting their sights on this Otacon, and it is the ruinous Otacon, so they will get all these flowers here. There's no way Riverside can contest.
Yeah, no way, and they still, I don't think, did they pop down the Rift Herald somewhere? Maybe in bot lane. I actually ended up missing that. I don't see it in anyone's inventory.
Too much action happening. I don't think we saw the Rift Herald. Whoops. Our bad, I guess. Okay, we're gonna be able to Astral Flight right out of there. Riverside and Prod looking to aggress onto this dragon while they have no mana. Plux is here as well. Alchemist on the side doing their Krugs. But here we go. Prod engaged. 3-talent strike. Able to avoid with that invulnerability that Nefiri has been gifted in the recent rework. I don't know why they gave the dog invulnerability, but here comes Nuke with a hook in. Drench, Riverside, and the engage as well. The dragon is here with full mana. Watch out, that's a reset. Call the pack onto Prod, and now Riverside is going to get burned down. And once again, it is Purdue absolutely sweeping these fights as Blonde is in danger as well. Prank is such a menace on this Rumble, burning people left and right. We talked about the microwave. He's a whole oven up there in the top lane.
Kudos to Blonde for having a good game, but it is not enough to slow down the absolute roll PNW has been on. Man. Frank puts on his sunglasses as he gets another solo kill.
Cool guys don't look at explosions,
oh boy. Right, exactly. Unbelievable game here. Purdue Northwest have exploded the gold lead to just about 8,000 here. Baron going to be spawning shortly. Unfortunately for Ottawa, the dragon stacking did not quite go to plan, so this dragon spawning not super impactful, I think, overall on this game in the current state. PNW is going to pick it up because what else are they going to do? Pretty much everything else on the map has been taken care of. And for Purdue Northwest, I mean, shout out to them. Everything, you know, they've been outplaying in the individual moments. I think a Prank in the tower dive in the side lane. I think of Alchemist absolutely taking over the third dragon fight, and they've been really good about finding picks as well, forcing cooldowns. Now Blonde has no flash, excuse me, and you best believe Purdue Northwest is going to try to take advantage.
Yeah, we saw Nukes actually go for that flash dredge line and try and hook him on. We're going to be able to take that tier 2 though, but the teleport in from Flux, you're in a bad spot. Alchemist is there to meet him and still alive for the moment. Prod goes in, the skies descend, and that's a massive vault. It looks like Alchemist is godlike in the backline. Gonna get a reset. Equalizer comes through. Blonde and Prod are going to burn down. Oh, but the curtains have been called, and we find 1 kill onto Alchemist. That's a big shutdown onto June. But in the very end, it is a 3-for-1 in favor of Purdue. Once again, these fights are working out so well, although they did give a shutdown to June. That is a little suspect. What do you think about that, Mac?
Man, honestly, I'm surprised Alchemist is doing so well. I know a lot of people will be thinking, you know, on the pick, I'm not surprised, but man, I could have swore on the top side of that fight, I know there was a lot of action in the middle of the screen, but I'm pretty sure I saw Alchemist 1v3ing, and Zap, he almost got out.
I think you're right.
Which is just kind of absolutely ridiculous.
He was going a
at
little
this
bit
point
crazy
in the game. I know, and it wasn't until the curtain call came through, and again, he almost got out. The curtain call almost didn't hit him, but June does secure that kill. He gets the Infinity Edge. He's trying to get back in this game and be a difference maker, but looking at the level lead that PNW has, it may be too little too late.
It connects, okay, the taunt comes through, and now Alchemist on that side, the Equalizer burning down Blonde and Prod. Looks like Prod is gonna fall, but he takes down Frank with him. The skies descend as another dragon claims another kill. We're going in. It looks like it could be a wipe here, and everybody is absolutely annihilated. The bleed from Alchemist. The call of the pack has been heard, and the dogs descend on all of the members of Ottawa University. We should see a Baron play here, Mac. It should just be clean and simple.
Man, Alchemist and June, the mid-jungle duo, have taken over here on the Rift. Really all of PNW showing us exactly why they are the 1 seed here in the MEC. The individual talent on full display. This Nefiri raid boss Alchemist gonna be able to finish off Death's Dance. June's on 3 items as well. They have just absolutely popped off. I mean, triple kill after triple kill for Alchemist. What more do you want from him? This should be PNW's game here. I'd be pretty surprised if Ottawa is able to mount a comeback with Baron buff in play here. They're suited up in purple, and here we go.
Yeah, dredge line connecting on to Riverside. You know, we don't even need to talk about it that much, Mac. Your health is just instantly gone. There's 4 members wailing on you. 4 members with 3+ items. Like, what can you do as a Karma in the top lane with no tank stats, all support here, and the tier 2 in the top lane is going to be annihilated. Level 17 on June.
Yeah.
They're looking to siege the tier 3 here as well. I think they'll be able to get it too with the way that Udon is wailing on this. Looks like Nukes is going to go for the engage. The skies descend, a 3-man stun, and it could be all but curtains for Ottawa here as the wipe comes through. The dragon is burning, the bleed is ticking, and the base is falling as Purdue is going to secure the first game, I believe. I don't think there's any way that Riverside can stop this. Singularity coming through, dredge line connection. Let's get one more just to be sure. And Purdue Northwest will find game 1 as the Nexus falls, and Alchemist playing with his food just a little bit, but what a solid game from Purdue Northwest to start us off here in winter semis.
I'm just laughing watching that team fight. June is just moving from side to side, hitting whoever's in front of him. Well, not, I mean, his target selection was on point, but he's just sitting there with the flamethrower, the dragon's breath going around,
just
slowing
like,
everyone down.
It's a mobile turret. You just get annihilated in the team fight.
Oh gosh, between him and Pranked, turns out Ottawa's feeling a little like a grass type, weak to fire to start off the series. It was a really close early game, but once Purdue Northwest gets that early lead from the get-go. In the bot lane, Udon and Nukes propelled the rest of the team to just absolutely take over. Despite some early skirmishes going back and forth, Ottawa Braves unfortunately can't quite keep up with Purdue Northwest here.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about the bot lane call in that situation. They certainly propelled that early game for Purdue Northwest. We saw Nukes and Udon really just dominating that the earliest of games where they found those dredge line connections and found those double kills. I believe Udon went up 4 kills before he first got caught out. So that early game really allowed them to have all that pressure in the bot side, and it allowed Alchemist to do what he wanted on the map, because we didn't get to see Plux move very much. I mean, some of the advantages that Galio possesses is that he can go from coast to coast with that ultimate, right? But we didn't get to see that nearly as often, because often Plux was using the ult to try and save his AD carry. So the pressure from Nukes and Udon in that early game, I think, really helped out and secured the mid-game transition for the solo laners and the jungler.
Yeah, 100%. I think back to the moment where Nukes potentially has a pick, June burns Flash, Plux burns Galio all, and suddenly Ottawa's without huge cooldowns, and Purdue Northwest, they know how to play with the advantage. Well done to them. It's still a best-of-3 series, though. We'll see how Ottawa responds in Game 2.
Yeah, it's not over just yet for Ottawa, but man, if that game has any inclination of how the series is going to go, I think Purdue is definitely looking like the favorites. We're going to see how the composition can change up, because one of the biggest detriments for Ottawa in that game, I believe, was the top lane matchup, because Karma, you know, is a solid laner. Don't get me wrong. The problem is it's Prank on Rumble. Like, he's going to scale up, he's going to do damage, and the Karma is not. I don't think we ship the Karma with the Jhin. I think we need to see, if we're gonna go for a supportive playstyle in the top lane, we need to have a carry in the bot lane. And Jhin, he only has 4 shots. He runs out of ammo, man. We can't enchant that guy. It's too difficult. So I think we need a little bit of a draft change up in the top lane for Ottawa going into Game 2.
Is it 4 shots, 4 opportunities, or 4 shots, 1 opportunity? I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see how it plays out here. Is we're gonna hop into a quick break and get geared up and ready to go for the second match here in this best-of-3 series. Don't click out of that browser. More MEC playoff action coming to you right after the break.
Hey, my name is Ali.
Bunny Hopper.
Hello, my name is RDU.
Fino here.
Thijs.
Lambi series here.
Even though most people know me as a streamer, I used to be a high-level competitor in Hearthstone.
2-time Yu-Gi-Oh! Nationals finalist, 1-time champion, Yu-Gi-Oh! World semi-finalist, former Hearthstone Grandmaster.
Became world champion in 2022 and also won the global team championship.
2 times the European Championship.
When I found Parallel, I immediately fell in love with the science fiction world that they created.
The depth and the details in it really stand out to me.
It's space art, it's gorgeous. The lore, Space Wars, super interesting.
I think overall the game of Parallel is what is the strong part.
The mana system, the cards,
deck building around the Paragon's strengths.
Some things are a little bit stronger, but the strongest decks are also like very skillful.
The deck allows us to trade the assets. I can send my friends decks and cards, or my viewers cosmetics.
The banking system, especially as a new mechanic.
The banking system.
One of the best decks we've seen in the mana system in any card game.
It's already adapting into tournament modes.
The community is pretty awesome.
The Parallel community and team has always been so wonderful to me.
I've been a lot of fun playing Parallel. I think you can also have a lot of fun playing Parallel.
Try Parallel, guys.
I love this game.
And we're back here at the Midwest Esports Conference. It's Mac and Zap bringing you some hot league action in this winners semi-finals bout. It has been Purdue versus Ottawa, and we had just a banger game 1 if you missed it. And I'm hoping we get a banger game 2. What do you think, Mac? What do you think? We gonna get a banger game 2 or what?
We'll see. I'm certainly going to be looking at this draft extremely closely. There were some pros and cons for Ottawa, and I know I've been focusing on Ottawa quite a bit. They're my underdogs. I'm rooting for a close series. Purdue Northwest, those guys are locked in. Ren said it a few weeks ago with a lot of the OQ stuff finishing up. He's like, all right, CLOL squad, it's time. Playoffs are coming up. We're getting ready to go. And man, Zap, did this Purdue Northwest squad look locked in as hell. They were ready to go.
They're looking like a final boss, Mac. They're looking really, really strong. I think there's a reason they were put in that #1 seed spot. We saw just how strong they could be in this last game. So I'm looking to see how Ottawa deals with this, because they actually are on blue side. And if you watch any of... Yeah, maybe. If any indication of if it's any indication of a comeback for Ottawa here, I think blue side would be the difference maker, because they do get that first pick. And often blue side can yield advantages based on just how the map is laid out. You know, it won't say anything about how much blue side is more effective against red side. That's more pro league stuff. But still, it could come into factor here. It could come into a factor here.
Yeah, and I'm thinking about the Nefiri first pick. Their PNW just going to take it away.
Yeah,
so
they said no.
They said
no
way.
You're not going to do that to us. No.
All bans onto Prank in the top lane, trying to set up Riversided for success. And it's tough. You're going to open things up for the jungle, for the mid lane, for the bot lane. So Ottawa focusing on Prank, I get why, but he's going to be able to lock in something like the Rumble, and we're going to have to ask ourselves, Zap, are they going to be able to have an answer for it? Pantheon could be flexed around a little bit. It will be interesting to kind of see. I feel like it's been mostly in the jungle as of late.
This is the exact same start that Purdue had, actually. It was the Rumble Corki. I think they had Nefiri last time, just to ensure that they got the, they got that dog. But this time, Nefiri banned away, of course. They're not on blue side. So we go for the Rumble Corki again. And now we've answered with the Scion Misfortune. I actually like this from Ottawa. The Scion is actually a pretty good choice. If he does elect to go top lane, I know you can go mid lane, but more than likely we'll be seeing a Scion top lane here versus that Rumble. And I think that's a very fine lane for Scion. They can get their farm. It's kind of hard to kill the big beefy boy. And Misfortune, maybe Xayah perhaps. Okay, Xayah is picked here for Ottawa, and I'm wondering what they're going to elect to pair that with in the bot lane. We do see the Rel coming out. It could be the Corki again bot lane, but again, Corki could go mid. It's possible. We'll see.
Bold PNW now. I wonder, Zap, are they just gonna ban away a bunch of supports here, and then if they want, they can red 5 counter pick mid lane? Is what's kind of going through my head from kind of thinking, trying to get into Rend and Marquez's head. Like, yeah, ban away the Rakan. Not going to be able to pick that.
Yeah.
I wonder if the Scion pick was necessary there, Blue 2. I wonder. I guess if you don't want to give Nukes a favorable support matchup, maybe that goes into the thought process for Ottawa. Like, hey. Yeah, I don't know.
I think against the Corki specifically, we saw how powerful Udon and Nukes were on that Corki Nautilus setup last time around. A similar setup here with the Corki Rel. I think it's pretty important to actually get that support counter pick here for Ottawa, because you don't want to give Purdue a strong bot lane again. Like, you want to really be able to shut those two down, because they were kind of the difference maker in the early game last time around. So we do see some jungle bans coming through, and the Jarvan is just locked in immediately. Purdue's like, okay, you banned away, some junglers here. Let's just slam a Jarvan. I think that's exactly what Purdue wanted.
Dude, just as they drew it up, the equalizer, the magnet storm. Just
Cataclysm.
throw everything in the pot and mess everybody up. We'll see if Ottawa will be able to chef something up of their own. The Leona I really like for Plux here. We saw he wanted the Galio pick last game, something aggressive to work with. It'll be interesting how they fare into the Corki Rel. I kind of give the early lane advantage to the Corki just from how strong Budon looked at it last game, but you know, the Leona damage, I think, going to be able to help out a little bit with the passive. An interesting choice here for Blonde as LeBlanc comes through. Heck yeah, man. Let's see what Blonde can do.
A freshly visually updated LeBlanc, by the way. Very, very new. You can see that new splash art looking fantastic. I think it's for the new Arcane show that will be coming out. Featured in Noxus LeBlanc, you know, famous Noxus character. Rise once again though is the oh, just kidding, you know, maybe we'll go for a Cassio.
Been
Annie,
down
maybe?
This road before. They're
Thinking
just gonna
about it.
toy around with my emotions.
Cho'Gath.
And
okay.
My oh my. Zep,
So-
do you think this Cho is going mid or is it going
I think this
top in the
I think this show is going mid. I think 100%. Cho'Gath
Into
mid.
the LeBlanc.
Now, Cho'Gath mid has been a fantastic pick in solo queue recently. I'm not sure how good it is in professional play, but I'm excited to see Purdue play the Cho'Gath. And I'm pretty sure it is going against the LeBlanc because, surprisingly, Cho'Gath has a lot of sustain in lane. That passive be healing you up 20 to 30 HP per minion that you kill. So he's looking to just stall out this LeBlanc and just sustain back up and survive. And he'll be so beefy late game that LeBlanc won't be able to do anything. If you notice their team, Cho'Gath, Jarvan, Rel. What can LeBlanc do against those three characters? Pretty much nothing. So I actually do like this choice coming for Purdue.
Yeah.
It could bite them in the butt. LeBlanc could sauce on this Cho'Gath a little bit early game, but we'll see. You know, we'll see just how well Purdue can play this here because I don't think it's that bad of a matchup. I'll say it. I don't think it's that bad.
Yeah, 100%. You've got the sustain factor, you got the tankiness. It's gonna be putting the mid jungle duo for the Ottawa Braves to the test. Blonde and Prod have got to have pop-off games, and the struggle points for Ottawa, we can nitpick individual performances. Overall, I was really loving what I saw from this squad. Despite going down early, they were not deterred, Zap. They were still trying to find picks, still trying to get into the game. They were a little over aggressive at times. Let's see if they can put this thing all together. I'm hoping June looks a little more comfortable on the Xayah pick. I definitely like switching that up. So I'll be looking to see Plux and June to really have a more comfortable game in the bot lane. Nukes and Udon have been just on a tear all season long. They're going to be a storm that is hard to stop. Overall, really excited for this matchup. I think we also get a new dynamic in the top lane. No longer will Riverside just be looking for Karma Grasp procs. He's going to be on the Scion. Maybe a little bit more of a factor to be had. I know he's wanting deep down Zap to play those top lane carries. Ottawa's putting him on the tanks and the overall kind of supporty picks. I'm curious if that will pay off here. I'm a little worried against Prank's Rumble. That, unfortunately, it won't, because he had that dog in him. There was that dog on the Rift, and then there's the dog inside Prank's Rumble, and he just absolutely popped off.
I mean, I think the Rumble is just an inevitability here for Pranks. You saw how effective it was last game. Probably looking to repeat some of that success this game here for Pranks. I mean, I think this time around, though, it is more of an even lane. I know Karma did kind of have the advantage in the early game last time around, but it didn't matter because, you know, it's Pranks Rumble, right? Just the pinnacle of consistency. So I'm going to see how consistent he can be against this Scion Pantheon, because that's actually a pretty deadly duo with the jungle top lane here, because Pantheon just, you know, clicks that W, Q lands for Scion, you're knocked up for, you know, 3 seconds. And when the ult comes in as well, it's even more CC. So I could really see this Pantheon taking over the early game. But on the flip side, Jarvan 4, also another strong early game jungler. The ganks are very effective. A lot of burst damage in the early game with that passive and with the armor shred that his Q gives. So it could go either way, but depending on who gets ahead first, I think is what's going to be really important here. But at least this time around, Riverside does have that scaling on Sion. We saw the Karma kind of be useless later on as the game progressed. Last game, Sion cannot be useless because he's just gonna have so much health no matter what. I mean, you've seen the Baus play him, right? Champ is broken. He's got to be OP, right?
It's gonna be like Godzilla versus King Kong in a side lane later on between Aljun's Cho'Gath and Riverside's Zion. Just auto attacks coming in, dishing. It's like a little sliver of health bar and like 7k HP. It's absolutely ridiculous. Something I'm a little concerned about though, for the Ottawa Braves, their early bot lane is once again got to be on point. I know I mentioned this before, but I had a thought. Looking in my crystal ball a little bit, Zap, this level 1 bot lane is extremely interesting because no one's got the inherent advantage. Like, maybe I give it to Corki, honestly, but the supports aren't providing a lot of wave clear, right? So whoever gets first to level 2 can look to be aggressive, and it's also up for grabs. Speaking of up to grabs, I think I'm seeing the Twitch Gamba coming in to predict who's gonna win this game, so make sure you put your channel points to good use and see if you can predict the winner here of game number 2. A lot of it will be decided on the Rift, Zap. It will be a super interesting game. I'm wondering if Ottawa can get some things going. We've seen their shot calling look really strong. I'm just hoping for the Braves fans at home that this squad can push us to a game number 3. It's MEC playoffs. I'm ready for the hype. I'm ready for the close series. But Purdue Northwest is a Titan that looks pretty darn hard to stop right now. I love the way they've been chefing up drafts. This one looks killer. Once again, they were ready for blue side. They were ready for red side. We'll see how it goes here. I know we're just waiting a little bit longer to get into game here. Zap, who do you think the difference maker is going to be here in game 2?
Honestly, I think it comes down to the mid lane matchup. We talked about the other matchups already. I think the mid lane matchup is going to be the difference maker because if this LeBlanc can get ahead, it's going to be really difficult for Purdue to actually lock her down. She can dodge most of the CC that they possess. The Rupture from Cho'Gath, W that. Jarvan's Flag and Drag, W that. Rel Engage, W that. So like her Mimic Distortion is going to be very effective here in dodging all the tools that Purdue has. But if Cho'Gath can get ahead, like, you're useless. You can't do anything. Like, he's just gonna be a raid boss. And if he goes that move speed build, I don't know if you know about this, but a lot of Cho'Gaths run Hail of Blades, Shurelia's Rush into Dead Man's Plate. Super broken. 500 move speed Cho'Gath. They also run Symbiotic Souls, so they don't have to, they could just back whenever they want. They can get the healing whenever they need it. We did see some nerfs to the souls this patch around, though, because you actually do get less healing and movement speed in the fountain. I believe it's 2% less healing for mana and HP in the fountain, as well as 5% less move speed back to lane. So the Symbiotic Souls Cho'Gath move speed build did take a little bit of a hit from that, but I don't think it's going to be enough to totally disrupt the game plan that Cho'Gath has. So
and it's on one of the MEC's brightest stars, Aljun, with the Hail of Blades. He's ready to go for game 2.
Oh, what did I tell you, Mac? What did I tell you? It's the Hail of Blades, movement speed Cho'Gath. I'm telling you, it's coming. You have to watch out for that if you're blonde. Aljun with that new meta build, that new school build on Cho'Gath. I'm excited to see how Aljun can make it work.
Ottawa Braves, Purdue Northwest. 2 Titans here in the MEC facing off on the Rift. Hoping for an exciting game number 2 here as Purdue Northwest, one game away from heading back to the winners semifinals. Ottawa Braves hoping to crack the armor, find a chink in the mail. Can they find it? We'll see, man. It'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, we're gonna find out. You see the players posted up here. Standard, no level 1 invades coming out from either side. Surprised, honestly. I think Ottawa might have been able to get away with an early invade with the fact that they have Pantheon and LeBlanc in that early game. Pretty strong, but we'll go to standard lanes here. Alchemist starting on their red buff, and we see Prod starting on their blue buff, so that means they are synced up. They will meet in the bot lane if they both go for a full clear. Already some poke coming through here for June.
And look, Nukes with the know-how goes, gets the shield, unmounts, wants to try to fight. Again, this level 2 going to be so important in both supports with Ignite. Things are going to get interesting. Ottawa looks like they get through the first wave without much issue. The Xayah Q doing a lot of work. They're looking for it. Both teams know it's
yeah, they're
soon
posturing for
coming.
level 2 here, and there it is.
Oh,
they're
they get
both
it at the same time!
Zenith Blade connects,
Oh,
and there's
Plux,
the stun
no!
on the Plux is low HP. He's going to get ticked down by that Ignite. The flash forward from Nukes. The stun connects. They're still alive, but they're able to jump right on top of him and go back to bot lane. We have some action here. June, barrier at the last second to save themselves, and my goodness, Plux does fall, but at least June stays alive for the moment. That's first blood going to Purdue.
You know, Zap, at the end of the day, it's tough for Ottawa, but I want to give us a little pat on the back for that. We saw it coming from a mile away, and I'm glad we were able to talk about it and focus on it. Shout out for Purdue Northwest for pulling that play off. Absolute difference maker for them.
Yeah. All in from Prank there, trying to get some more chip damage onto Sign. A little bit of chip damage here for Blonde as well, trying to take advantage of the melee that is Ao June on this Cho'Gath. Prank once again pressing their advantage. Flame Spitter connection, Electronic Harpoon not gonna kill. And once again, you just see Ao June farming in the mid lane, using that Rupture to get 2 CS, 2 for the price of 1. A sweet deal here for Cho'Gath to get that cannon. And just trying to keep themselves alive in the early game. Looks like they might be looking into mid lane here. Just kidding, they're gonna go bot lane instead.
Prod's looking bot lane as well. After the full clear, both junglers trying to find an opportunity somewhere on the rift. Look at the ward placement there. That's gonna let PNW know Prod is on the bottom side of the map. Shout out the high level gameplay. Blonde getting ganked, but you know, like we said, just W away. What do you? I'm not worried.
We
Blonde's
talked about
not
it. we're gonna distortion right out of there. It's no big deal, and that's the power of LeBlanc. I mean, pretty much impossible to gank, but you see Ao June actually doing an effective job of CSing. They're only down a little bit of CS, assuming Blonde can actually retrieve all the CS under tower. So Ao June doing a great job on this Cho'Gath so far.
Riversided backs, goes back to base. Already Alchemist looking to see if he can dive the top laner, but not going to quite work out. Plus, it's a little tough to dive the Scion. Got to worry about the passive coming through. June does get level 4. He got some extra XP from when Plux went down. Ottawa at least stopping the bleeding for the time being. I feel like last game we saw it was just a crazy snowball effect. Hook after hook from Nukes connected. He's looking for the engage once again. Finds the stun, and there we go. Plux has got to be more careful.
Yeah, in they go, and Plux going to be ticked down by that Ignite. The Gatling gun as well, shredding that armor, and Udon finding that kill once again. That's a 2-0 on this Corki, and we could see a similar situation here, Mac. Similar to game 1 where the Corki goes up, a stun connection, and Phosphorus Bomb gonna do some damage. Scion taking some damage, but man, June might have to take a back. They are low HP under their turret. Puck's on his way back, but it looks like Udon and Nuke are gonna take a back, so the AD carry will get some farm back, luckily.
Yeah, we'll see a pretty big purchase here, I think, come through for Udon. My eyes on the inventory. June did have barrier. It's about 400 gold lead for Udon. 1k in the bank really goes a long way. Neutral objectives are all going to be coming online here. No early dragons this time around for Ottawa. But look at Alchemist already building a really solid early lead on the Jarvan.
Yeah.
Be able to back a bunch of AD.
Yeah, Pantheon's clear is not the greatest. It's not terrible, but I think Jarvan's might be a little bit faster, and that's kind of how do we see the pathing from Alchemist really paying in dividends. Nuke's looking for an engage here onto Blonde. Plux is actually there. Spotted on a ward. They're able to just disengage that. Looking for grubs. It might be the option here for Alchemist, June, and Nukes as they take control of the pit. Plux is there, I believe. We see Prod actually stepping up here. Maybe trying to steal one.
Lane swaps come through, Zaf. The bot laners are on the top side of the map.
Blade connecting. A little bit of a skirmish here. The stun onto Prod, and he actually throws the E the wrong way. I think that might be Prod going down. The Cataclysm connects, and it's a massive AoE here. The back and forth, 2 for 2 for the moment, and Blonde and June are there, but the
River-sided!
Unstoppable onslaught to join the pit. Udon's in trouble, no flash, and able to be taken down. Alchemist flag and drag out of there, but I believe that'll be Ottawa actually taking the fight. I believe that was a 3 for 2 in their favor. Did they steal away a grub as well? Yes, they did. They were able to steal the grub. So a solid little skirmish there for Ottawa.
Not too shabby. They'll definitely take it. 2 kills go on to June. Much needed for the Xayah. He's able to pick up the top wave. Udon actually loses out on the top wave because they prioritized the grubs. Frank does take advantage of the situation. He is getting quite ahead on the bottom side of the map. Nukes may be looking for a play here, but again, it's pretty hard to dive this Scion.
Yeah.
The bot laners are going to be left relatively to their own devices here. Lane swap coming through again. Seems like Ottawa's going to try to avoid letting River-sided kind of 1v1 until Prank just develops a huge lead. I don't actually mind this adaptation. Seems to be working out pretty well. They're keeping the bot lane on the side of the neutral objective with Void Grubs going down. Dragon is the next priority. Udon does not have teleport, but he's going to use his recall here now. Frank is still on the bottom side of the map, but River-sided has teleport.
Yeah. Okay, just back to full clearing here for Alchemist. Alchemist maintaining their XP and CS lead for the moment. They have had a lot of tempo here. Nuke's just poking a little bit, looking to set up for Alchemist. There is a ward there. I don't think any gank is going to happen here, at least not one that'll be effective. We're going to clear some more vision. Alchemist trying to gain control of this Dragon Pit. Plux once again positioning here, but can't get much done in the vision battle. It's just a back and forth as we see Prod hovering the bot side as a dragon fight may be looming. Alchemist has started it up.
Aljune's got Feast ready to go. He's going to try to help out secure the objective. Prod, meanwhile, he's looking for a gank onto Udon and Nukes, but there goes the dragon already.
Yeah, the priority here from Aljune has just been immaculate. They were able to just rotate the dragon after getting the wave in.
Oh!
And this engage as well, just barely. Frank once again roasting this Scion, but it's Scion, right? He can take a beating. He'll be fine up here for a while at least. Just as I say that, he takes half of his HP bar. He does have TP available though.
Yeah, he's got TP, he's also got the Doran shield, Spectral's cowl, able to farm safely underneath this turret. Riverside's kind of got that Scion underneath turret CSing strat kind of locked in. That looked pretty good. It looks like once again we are going to get a lane swap as grubs are going to be spawning shortly. Riverside is just going to go ahead and teleport bot. He's got the ultimate to rotate up top if he's needed up there again. And we'll see. It will be interesting how the teams play around Void Grubs. Plux is already looking for a gank mid as PNW look for plate spot.
Yeah, we're looking to get some chip damage here into the Scion. This Scion, if nothing else, can take a beating, has been getting absolutely poked and chipped down in every single lane situation they find themselves in. And actually is going to take a back. I'm wondering if he's going to go contest grubs. I don't think it'd be wise to leave the entire bot lane there. Yeah, you see him cancel his back, and Blonde and Aojun are actually trading in the mid lane, but that Cho'Gath is so tanky, you actually just see that they have accrued a CS lead and has a health lead for the moment as well, controlling that wave. Prod and June are actually taking the grubs right now. They do trade the grubs away. I think they're going for first turret bot lane, perhaps.
Yeah, this is overall pretty worth it, I think, for the Purdue Northwest squad. We see Alchemist put a lot of pressure on Riversided. He loses out on CC. Prank, meanwhile, getting the better end of the deal, right? He's able to use Equalizer to clear the wave. Now there's 4 people bot and nothing Riversided can really do about it. He's going to get dove here if he's not careful.
We're just going to walk it out. You know, we're fine. Stay alive for the moment. Meanwhile, on the top side as well, it looks like, oh, we're going back. Okay, flash through. Cataclysm connects. There's no way you can get out of this one. I believe the munch is on the menu, and yes, it certainly will be. Riverside gets feasted upon. Prank in the top lane as well. They need to get this trade back. They should be able to try to give it away. The Feather Storm. Oh my goodness. Prank actually almost outplayed that and does get the trade back as well. Good stuff to Prank, but at least Ottawa is coming out with the trade. No first turret as well. I don't think you can take this out, June. We might see an execute in our future. Oh, we're alive. He's still alive. He was able to lifesteal on the minions.
Yeah, he's going to be relatively untouched, and there goes the turret gold. Once again, Purdue Northwest getting the better end of the deal. June trying to cash in on some turret plates. Ottawa did get 4 Void Grubs, but PNW, they took the first 2. They were okay with this. And looking at the gold lead here for Prank in the top lane, 800 gold for the Rumble goes a long way. Overall, a 2,000 gold lead. We do see June actually a little bit ahead of the Porky with how the Zaya's been roaming around the map, but with no Feather Storm, Zappy's got to be careful all on his own.
Yeah, he definitely has to be careful here of Aojun, one of the tankiest boys in the game right now. Getting the trade back here, the Grand Starfall. Going to catch Aojun slipping, but the chains are unfortunately not going to connect here onto Cho'Gath. The team is there to get their monster out of that dangerous situation. They will return to the top lane to feast on some more minions.
Oof, close game here in game number 2. A lot slower paced here for the most part. Unfortunately for the top laners, I feel like they're used to it at this point, right? Where they're just getting dove in the side lanes, but
this is
so
a classic island situation for top lane, you know? We're islanders, you know, they're from Hawaii, they're just sitting on an island in top lane and just getting dove every once in a while. You know, it's how it be sometimes, you know? It's just how it be.
It's like a game of Survivor, you know? Who's going to win more immunity challenges? And so far, I think, well, you know, between Riversided shopping on a budget, he's able to get his first item completed as Nukes' health bar gets a little nuked. Blonde looking for some more damage here, but they got to be careful about reinforcements looking to come in.
Yeah,
Alchemist can engage on a dime. There we go. Knock
the
up.
Rapture connects. Yes, the Cataclysm able to connect. Flash out after the Feather Storm from June.
Yeah.
They are alive, but Plux, you are getting burned down here. The Flame Spitter doing damage. Blonde taking lots of damage as well, burning the flash, the stun, but Udon is able to connect the Gatling as well as the auto attacks to finish off. Prod flashes over the wall. Oh, but
no
unfortunately Udon misses the flash. I saw it, Mac. That is unfortunate for Udon, but there's the flag and drag onto Prod. Alchemist securing that kill. And my goodness, these skirmishes for Purdue always seem to favor them. They are so good in the skirmish situation, Mac.
Man, absolute disaster strikes for Ottawa. Not how they wanted that to go whatsoever. Alchemist finds the engage on the critical members. June has to burn so much just to try to escape from Aojun's Cho'Gath. Nuke's looking for another play.
Yeah, Nukes goes in with the Magnet Storm. They do connect on the Feather Stormless Zaya. Plux running for the hills, but I don't think you're making it away from these 3 raid bosses. They are so dang tanky. That tower's not going to do anything to them. They do secure another 2 kills onto the enemy bot lane. Ottawa is bleeding a lot here.
This is where Purdue Northwest sinks their fangs and start popping off and extending the gold lead. Big turnaround as
Ignite him? Like,
yeah, spellbook, just spellbook vibes.
I was just like, what? Excuse me? Okay, here comes Alchemist engaging onto Prod. Might see a little skirmish here. Frank coming in to join the battle. Scion charging up that Q, and he actually cataclysms past it. A great little mechanic there from Alchemist. They're going to set their sights on Prod. Flux has joined the fight. Solar Flare not going to connect the Zenith Blade into the stun onto Alchemist. They might be able to take down Alchemist. Can they get him? He's burning down. Mid lane, meanwhile, June is going to fall to the bot lane, and both Flux and Riverside are able to survive. The Equalizer connecting. Okay, a bit of aggression there from Prank, but I don't think it's going to be enough to kill the Scion or the Leona. Can we get this turret, though? I don't think so. It's going to be reset of the situation, and once again, Godzilla in the bot lane. What are you going to do against me? You can't touch me, you little mage. There is nothing that this LeBlanc can do against the Shogun. We talked about this, Mac. We talked about it, and we're seeing it come to fruition. Nuke's actually playing with Flux a little bit. Are we able to find this kill? Grand Starfall comes in. Nukes, will you be able to save your... No, he can't get the connection. He has Rocket Belt? He has Rocket Belt? Oh, he gets the kill!
Back at it again.
What
Classic
are we doing?
Nukes. He got 2 kills in the mid lane, and suddenly, PNW is feeling themselves. Zap, I think, pretty well in this game. Alchemist 2-level lead over Prod is just taking over along with the rest of the carries. And yeah, if we go look outside of the gold difference between the teams here, I think in Nukes' inventory we'll see a little bit of what the professional supports love to call some extra engage. But
Unstoppable Onslaught.
Maybe.
Finding a big connection, get some CC, fully charged Q, finds the E as well for the slow. We have the W, it's gonna pop. Pranks, are you alive? Flashes over the wall, still alive for the moment.
He can't keep getting away with this.
I don't think he's gonna get away with it. Here comes Blonde, trying to find the chain, but they can't find it. The electrocute is enough with the auto attack. Stun on to Aojun, but he is so dang tanky. The rupture misses, but here comes Udon over the wall, and we're gonna find another kill onto Riverside as Blonde tries to catch the top wave before they dive this turret. You gotta be careful though, Blonde. You have the distortion, but can you get away from Alchemist and Aojun? They're gonna cut off both chokeholds. Cataclysm connects, silence as well, and there's the feast. We munch on LeBlanc tonight.
Oh gosh, this game's gone from bad to worse, unfortunately, for the Ottawa Braves. And when you look at it, right, like if you're LeBlanc, if you're Pantheon, what do? What do you say against the Warmog's upped Cho'Gath in the mid lane, right?
Yeah.
Alchemist has got this crazy, he's got the extra health, he's got the green turtle friend to help with some extra tankiness. This is frankly a Purdue Northwest composition that you are not going to be able to find picks by bursting people out. PNW have absolutely cooked. And, you know, Ottawa needed this early game to go just about perfectly. It unfortunately didn't, and PNW are taking over. Alchemist 11 out of 16 kills he's helped out with. He's been having an awesome series.
Flare comes through for Flux. They are looking for nukes. Trying to find this connection. They do. Prod able to take down the Rel. Aojun is the target next. Gets stunned up. Equalizer comes through from Frank. Flux falling low. Gets flag and drag. They are going to fall. June on the side trying to look to put some more damage here onto these tanks, but they just can't do any damage to the Jarvan Cho'Gath. The Scion is caught out. Burns down immediately from the damage from Frank and Udon, and the rest of Ottawa is running for the hills. They find the knockup. Once again, the flash, the cataclysm. There's no more escape. Flash beast from Aojun. The rupture connection is the silence there. It connects, but the W is enough. The distortion, the mimic distortion, smite, auto attack, you're gone. The passive is enough from Jarvan there, and there have the Rift Herald as well to boot. The punish on the team fight and the punish on the macro from Purdue Northwest is absolutely immaculate. I don't think they can end here, but they've certainly taken a ton of their base and a ton of their lives as well.
Now June going on a crazy train run. It's him and Shelly against the world as see that Shelly's not doing a whole lot of damage to that turret.
He didn't quite get the drift, you know, it didn't quite have the Tokyo drift there, Al June, unfortunately. It would have been crazy if he got the 65 health Herald onto that tier 2 turret. Can't get all the value, but they still, you know, they still got plenty of value off of that team fight and off that Herald mid lane.
And off of that, this game has exploded out of control. Purdue Northwest up 9,000 gold. Flux doesn't stand a chance of getting out of here. Udon's level 12 on 2 items. Yeah, he's popping off. Alchemist and Aljun both level 14. 2 level leads over the highest levels over on the Braves. He's looking for a pick.
Okay. We're just gonna, you know, hey, what's up? You know, let's have a little handshake here in the jungle. We're gonna look for Dragon though. Udon and Alchemist certainly will be able to burn that one down instantly. Aljun, a permanent threat on the side lane. Nobody can match this Cho'Gath. Warmog's movement speed, symbiotic souls. He's got 2 Giants belts in the back pocket as well. I wonder what those are for. I would love to see like some crazy item like a Heart Steel or an Overlord's Blood Mail even. But it looks like they're just going to face tank this tower. They're trying to put a stop to it. Unstoppable Onslaught comes in. Grand Starfall. Stun connection onto Udon. Do they have the damage to take down this Corki? They're looking for it. I think he's going to fall. Shutdown goes to Prod. Flag and drag back and forth. Nukes has arrived with the Rocket Belt. And just the Cataclysm onto June as well. This should be a 4-for-1. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. Nope, no, just kidding. We thought we might see a trade back here with the Feather Storm and the callback of Zaya, but I don't think it's going to be enough. That's a wipe there for Purdue Northwest, and we're looking to end the game. The teleport back from the base, and it was a Heartsteel has been selected. This Cho'Gath's about to be massive. There he is, a giant Cho'Gath, and Flux is looking to try and stop the 2 turrets from falling, but I don't think there's anything you can do against these tanky individuals. That should be Purdue Northwest securing their spot in the finals here at the Midwest Esports Conference.
Sheesh! Well, that, I think, was a little quicker than I expected, but I know Purdue Northwest tonight came ready to play. They were ready to dominate, and they showed us exactly what they're made of, taking care of business on this Wednesday night.
100%. Purdue all business here. We saw, I think, both games ended over a 10k gold lead. Purdue Northwest, very impressive showing, #1 seed for a reason. I think the biggest difference maker, though, is definitely the draft. I think Purdue won out in draft, and both games, I think they really drafted these crazy scaling comps that can just absolutely run you over as the game progresses. If you make a mistake, they're there to punish, and then that punish transitions into a scaling late game that is unstoppable. So great stuff from Purdue Northwest. I'm very impressed by their play and their draft.
Coach Rend has cooked. The players cooked. It is a feast on the Rift tonight, as Purdue Northwest will patiently await the winner of the Grandview versus Ohio State series. Potential 1v2 1 seed versus 2 seed matchup, but I'm sure Ohio State and Grandview, they play tomorrow night. I think it will be a really fun series to watch. Unfortunately, it won't be on stream, but I'll be watching the results of that one very closely as they come in. It will be interesting to see who faces off against Purdue Northwest. Whoever it is, good luck, because this team is, as Rend wanted them to be, the squad looks locked in. And I mean, what a series top to bottom. The solo laners taking care of business. Alchemist, it seems like without even trying, he had a 2-level lead over Prod. and the bot lane. We watched them from the get-go, Zap. We were like, okay, literally level 1 is super important here, and they were on point, man. They knocked it out of the park. Purdue Northwest passes through the first gauntlet with flying colors.
Yep. Absolutely impressive showing. I mean, Ottawa, I think, had some ideas. They had some strategies that were effective. I think Purdue just kept running away with the game. That was the main issue. I mean, once again, some of these characters just can't compete. Like the Pantheon, for example, instantly outscaled. Like outscaled in what, 10 minutes? Like, man, that's rough. That's just really, really tough. They did have like some early game plays where they were able to bring it back or take control. Like we saw a grub fight where they were able to steal a grub and get 3 kills to their 2 in Purdue. So they did have some ideas, some strategies, but they just didn't pan out against the way that Purdue was playing. And Purdue, rightfully so, deserving of that win, moving on to finals. I'm excited to see how they continue to do because, man, this team looks really unstoppable with how they played tonight.
Yeah, I mentioned it at the start of the broadcast, but this team is gearing up for a major CLOL run, and I think we saw some of that potential here on the Rift tonight. I think it would be really fun to watch as they continue to progress. Hopefully screw exams, don't study at all, only play League, grind never stops, solo queue till 4 a.m, you know, lock in for CLOL. This only happens once in a lifetime, you get a squad like this, but all jokes aside, this is a PNW squad that means business. Ottawa, they are down, but not out. They move into the losers bracket, where I believe they'll either, I imagine they'll face the winner of Briarcliff versus Kansas, and the loser of GVU versus Ohio State will face off against Columbia College. I'm doing some guesswork here. I'm pretty sure that's how the bracket works out. But so Ottawa can potentially make a losers bracket run, take this experience, try to learn from it. I wish that squad the absolute best. They're I won't say they're absolute gentlemen because they're kind of trash talkers in the league, but you know, I salute them. They're a really good group of they're a really good squad, a good group of
I mean,
fellas.
maybe they've earned the trash talk privileges, you know, like they're like, we're the best, you know, like I think it's a little bit funny to see that happen where you're just like so much better than everybody else that you start trash talking. Like I can respect that a little bit, you know. It's not always, you know, professional, but hey, you know, it's entertaining to say the least.
Yeah, and you know they'll just they're here for the content, you know. They're here to make things interesting, and that's one of the things I appreciate, being able to watch this league. See the kind of personalities develop, everyone, you know, it's just such a wonderful community we got here at the MEC. You know, I really appreciate everyone. Don't want to put anyone down, and, you know, just try to uplift everyone as it's a really cool experience. Ottawa could certainly still be a top 32 team in the nation here, and I hope in the losers bracket run they're able to showcase that. But we will hop into a quick break to get ready for the post-game interview with one of the PNW players. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. The esports lab hasn't closed just yet. We'll see if we can track someone down. If you're feeling bored during the break, make sure to check out our latest sponsor, Parallel, a new trading card game that I can't recommend more. Hopefully we'll drop the link in the chat, and we'll see what other personalities have to say about the game. But we'll catch you after the break with the post-game interview.
Hey, my name is Ali.
Bunny Hopper.
Hello, my name is RDU.
Fino here.
Thijs.
Lambi series here.
Even though most people know me as a streamer, I used to be a high-level competitor in Hearthstone.
2-time Yu-Gi-Oh! Nationals finalist, 1-time champion, Yu-Gi-Oh! World semi-finalist, former Hearthstone Grandmaster.
Became world champion in 2022 and also won the global team championship.
2 times the European championship.
When I found Parallel, I immediately fell in love with the science fiction world that they created.
The depth and the details in it really stand out to me.
It's space art, it's gorgeous. The lore, Space Wars, super interesting.
I think overall the game of Parallel is what is the strong part.
The mana system, the cards,
deck building around the Paragon's strengths.
Some things are a little bit stronger, but the strongest decks are also like very skillful.
The tech allows us to trade the assets. I can sell my friends decks and cards or my viewers cosmetics.
The banking system, especially as a new mechanic.
The banking system.
One of the best decks we've seen in the mana system in any card game.
It's already adapting into tournament modes.
The community is pretty awesome.
The Parallel community and team has always been so wonderful to me.
I've been a lot of fun playing Parallel. I think you can also have a lot of fun playing Parallel.
Try Parallel, guys.
I love this game. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our continuing coverage of the Midwest Esports Conference CLOL Partner Conference Regional Playoffs. PNW taking care of business in the winners semifinals. A clean sweep over the Ottawa Braves. Nukes, I saw the rocket belt in the inventory, man. Y'all were feeling yourselves. How's the team feel headed into winners finals, my man?
You
we get in the selfie? Is that?
Yeah, that's you done. The goat himself. I'm getting sabotaged. But, oh, it's on my cam mic for.
Razor kills
yeah,
the cam
that
mic.
one.
It's a little bit scuffed.
Alright.
No biggie. No
We're
biggie.
back. We're back.
What was the question? Going into finals, how are we feeling?
Yeah.
Feeling pretty good. I mean, I think losing to GVU once was like scuffed.
Yeah.
That was like yeah, like that was like probably 50% of like how good we are, I'd say. Like when we're actually trying.
Dang.
So I don't think it'll ever go to 3 games again, or like we can lose to them again.
Mhm.
But they're fun to face. They're definitely the best team besides us. But yeah, we're pretty confident.
Dang. You know, we were talking about that rocket belt build that you were doing, Nukes, and I'm curious to know, did you come up with that build? Is that like a Nuke special, or how did you come across this build?
I didn't really want Rel. Like, we're already gonna beat them, so I don't want to play my main champ. You know, like it's like boring. But I already
Okay.
know we were gonna win, so I just went Aftershock to not troll. But then I went Proto Belt because I thought it would be fun, and I don't think we would
So-
lose because I'm gonna go Proto Belt, and it helped me get a mid kill. So I mean, it's broken.
So just a little bit of trolling, that's all.
Yeah, I mean, I could go it again in finals. You know, maybe.
It's fantastic. So talking about finals, how do you guys think you'll do in the finals? Do you think it's going to be a clean sweep? Are you feeling pretty confident with the way your team is playing?
I feel like recently, yeah, we had a wake up call after GBU, and like when we're fully trying,
Mhm.
I think it's like really hard to beat us.
So
So
if
like
you
in
don't
that
go
sense,
rocket
I don't
belt and
think.
electrocute, you're gonna win.
Yeah, pretty much. I couldn't go electrocute on Rel. Like I was like thinking about it, and like there's 20 seconds left. I was like, okay, I might actually win. So.
No inting this
Yeah.
time around. That's fantastic. I love it. Love the content here, Nukes.
But yeah, I think it should be it'll be definitely like fun like playing at the LAN like for finals.
Mhm.
But I don't see like a way we lose.
Have you had an in-person LAN experience like that yet?
No.
Because this will be your first MEC LAN, right?
Yeah, this will be my first LAN.
Cool.
Huge. Let's go. Well, I'm
gonna be
wishing you
fun.
the best of luck. I hope that all goes well. I know sometimes things get a little interesting with playing away from the setup and everything, but I hope. So it's on my bucket list to end up at an MEC LAN to see everyone and be able to meet y'all in person. But
That would
I
be
hope
cool.
the in-person energy uplifts the overall experience for you guys. And thinking about how you guys got here, I'm curious overall what the impact that the support system at PNW has had on you guys, right? Like you've got Marquez, you've got Coach Rend helping everyone out. How does that kind of help set you guys up to succeed?
It's really good, honestly. Like, I think if we had one coach, it would be hard. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's nice to have like 2 minds, and like they're
Mhm.
both good, and they like think of drafts and stuff. And they also keep us in check when we're trolling. Like they like take turns getting serious on us.
Good
and that's
cop,
like
bad
pretty
cop.
much how it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're both usually bad though, you know, at the same time, but like we deserve it. So
double bad.
Like it's yeah, but we're locking in recently, you know, so
it's paying off.
Yeah. I guess we'll see in finals, so then you guys can see how much us locking in versus not locking in is.
Looking forward to seeing how it pans out then.
Yeah, absolutely, Nukes. You guys, I know Marquez has been kind of not mad at me, but I feel a little bit. He's like, man, we've been on stream a lot. I got all these drafts cooking. I don't want to let everyone see all my drafts, but I know you guys are just so fun to watch, and this was an awesome series. Appreciate you guys being on stream and coming through. Winners semifinals, y'all put on a show. Nukes, before we let you go, to have a fun rest of the night with the team. Hopefully
celebrate a little bit, or queue up again for more solo queue. You know, whatever, wherever the grind takes you guys. But
I don't know.
before
Solo
we-
queue is annoying. I don't know if I can queue up.
He wants to play Electrocute Rocket Belt Nautilus. I could see it in his eyes.
Dude, I might try it for a row, dude. I don't know. I think I cooked something.
Before we let you go, do you have any shout outs that you want to give out?
I mean, I can just shout out my team, I guess, you know. They're pretty cool.
Not too
and
shabby.
I think we're all good, like, when we try, so
Yeah,
I think we'll make it far
100%.
in like CLOL too, so we'll see how it goes.
Nice. Awesome.
Well, you know you got some PNW fans right here and at home cheering you guys on, Nukes. I hope you have a good rest of your night. Best of luck, safe travels to the LAN, and enjoy, man.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Nice talking to you guys. Oh, you done.
Oh, the
See
GOAT?
ya.
The
Oh,
God?
The best player.
I saw some people typing in chat about him.
Yeah, no, that's every single time. Like, if you ever watch the VODs back, it's just people
Big fan of you,
going
Don,
crazy
bro.
on you, Don. It's so funny.
Oh,
So
gosh.
funny.
Well, have a good night, Nukes.
All right,
We'll
have a good
hopefully
night.
be able to chat
Peace.
soon.
See you guys.
Well, that is going to do it for our, Wednesday night. Do we have Smash tonight, Alan?
I don't think so.
No Smash tonight? No Smash tonight, dang. Ah, brutal. Well, at the end of the day, that's going to be it from us here over on the MEC broadcast. We do have a special shout out to give out. One of our main sponsors. You may have seen a yellow square floating around up top. Let's
Up
see
there.
if I know.
Wait,
nope,
up
right
there.
here.
Neither.
No.
It's right. It's
There
there
we
for
go.
me. Yeah,
It's
there it
mirrored.
is.
There we go. We found it. We made it work. But we do want to give a special shout out to Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation. To emerge from the front yard lemonade stand, 4-year-old Alexandra Alex Scott, who is fighting cancer and wanted to raise money to find cures for all children with cancer. By the time Alex passed away at the age of 8, she had raised $1 million. Incredible. Since the foundation bearing her name has evolved into a worldwide fundraising movement and the largest independent childhood cancer charity in the U.S., LSF is a leader in funding pediatric research projects across the globe, providing programs to families affected by childhood cancer. For more information, we urge you to please visit Alex's Lemonade Stand, or alexslemonade.org, excuse me, and we'll also put a link in the chat. It's a cause near and dear to our hearts and would really mean the world to be able to research this great cause. Just shout out to them, the amazing work they're doing over there. With that, it's been Mac and Zap bringing some electrifying action here, covering the CLOL semifinals, excuse me, in the winners bracket. Purdue Northwest takes the W over the Ottawa Braves, moves on to face the winner of GVU versus OSU, to be decided tomorrow. I believe it's Valorant on the stream tomorrow, so be sure to tune in to that. With that being said, wish everyone a good night.
Peace.
Alex's Lemonade Stand was founded by my daughter Alex in our front yard when she was 4 years old. She decided she would have a lemonade stand, but instead of keeping the money, she would give it to her doctors so they could help kids like her. And she was able to reach her $1 million goal. She passed away 2 weeks later. She was 8 and a half.